Hello YouTube world, MacDaddy191181 here. Who is responsible for your safety? Before I begin, I would like to state without reservation or qualification that I believe that all the police and paramedics reacted as fast as humanly possible to the first calls for help from the Sandy Hook Elementary School. No one could ask for more than that. At least, not from the first responders. This piece is not to denigrate or disparage their superhuman efforts to stop the madman. They did everything humanly possible. Our collective hat here at Shade Tree Survivalists is off to them. However, when seconds count, they were, according to CNN, 2.5 minutes away. 2.5 minutes is very, very fast. A friend of mine here recently had his house broken into and some stuff stolen. Took the damn police 30 freaking minutes to get there. Do you know how many fingerprints they went around and took? None. 2.5 minutes is fast, yet in cases such as this one, it just wasn't fast enough. What a shame. So what can we do now to prevent this from happening again? What can you do to protect yourself and your family? The first step you must take costs you nothing. Mentally accept the fact that you are ultimately responsible for your safety. That's right, you are responsible. You are responsible for paying your own damn bills, your own taxes, raising your own kids, feeding them, clothing them, yourself included, keeping up your car, and if you convict a crime, or if you are convicted of a crime, you are responsible for serving that time, not anyone else. So, if you can agree with that, why would you delegate your personal safety to others whose only loyalty or whose loyalty ends at a paycheck? In a disaster in which their own families will also be in danger or need to be evacuated to, where will their loyalty lie? Some put others above self. Yet in this modern world where being self-centered is glamorized by TV and movie stars, what are your chances of getting someone like that in a disaster? Here's another way of looking at it. Our modern cars have literally dozens of safety devices and design features to help prevent serious injury in a crash. Seat belts, airbags, side impact airbags, the top airbags, crumple zones, the passenger compartment is hardened, on and on and on. The seats are specially designed, steering wheel's designed, all these different things are designed to help prevent you from getting hurt in an accident. However, if you fail to wear your seatbelt and have a serious accident at 65, 70 mile an hour, you will probably be ejected from the car and seriously injured or killed. So it's your responsibility to put that damn seatbelt on. It's also your responsibility ever so often to inspect it to make sure it's not about to pull out of the floor. Another example, do you lock your doors at night or when you leave home? Do you lock your car doors and run down neighborhoods? Do you lock your doors after you exit your car at work or while shopping? If you answered in the affirmative, in other words, yes, to any of those questions, why? It's because you know that you will not be there to prevent someone from robbing you, and neither are the police. If you understand that much, it is not much of a leap to go one step further to understand that the same is true for your personal safety. The police simply cannot always be everywhere at once. If they could, there would never be a murder, robbery, rape, or assault and battery. It's as simple as that. The current administration and the government as a whole would have you believe that you should trust your safety to them. A lot of people agree. And we have mass shootings. We have robberies. We have murder. We have the drug trade. We have child predators. We have rapists, and on and on and on and on. Overall, so far in our history, I would give our government a 60, a grade on how well they protect us as a nation from foreign enemies. From foreign enemies, the government has done better than on the home front. Gangs control whole swaths of both major and minor cities and towns. They literally own the streets. They roam around, killing thousands every year. Yet where is the outrage? I'll tell you. I grew up in the projects myself, government housing. And it boils down to this. When you are dirt poor, you are nobody. Simple as that. The people who can least afford an alarm system, or a phone, or a gun for self-defense, or to call for help, are the least likely to have regular police patrols. I know that from first-hand experience also, especially after dark. Now, do you know when the last successful hijacking of an airliner was? September the 11th, 2001. That's when. Why hasn't it happened again? Yes, I'm aware that there have been attempted bombings, the underwear bomber, the shoe bomber, and so forth. However, every time it has been attempted, the passengers fought back and stopped it. Again, I ask the question, why? The answer is simple. Those passengers realize that there is no help coming, and there is no escape at 35,000 feet. And if they don't fight back now, they will all become a guided missile and die, just like on September 11th. An immovable object meets an irresistible force, and you got one hell of a bang. If everyone realized that in a gun-free zone, only one or two exits that can be easily covered with fire by an assailant, you may as well be on an airliner. All right? Why didn't the kids escape out the windows? Maybe those classrooms didn't have windows. The only way in and out is the doorway going into the hall. Therefore, the gunmen, they didn't have a choice. They didn't have an escape. They didn't have a defense. They just simply had to stand there and die, because no one will allow the teachers to be armed, and the teachers, those poor liberal bastards, they think they know it all. They haven't used their brain on this particular one, now have they? No more excuses. After 9/11/2001 and now after Sandy Hook, we must realize our personal safety is up to us. The second step after realizing that your personal safety is up to you until the professionals show up. So what are your options? Karate? Not a bad idea, but won't stop a bullet if the assailant is out of arm's reach with a pistol or rifle. Pepper spray or a taser. Same problem. Limited range. Limited reach. Number 3, shotgun, rifle. Excellent for home defense, but very limited abilities in vehicles and a no-no in public. Okay, so that leaves the handgun. As with pepper spray and or tasers, a handgun can be carried relatively easy. No phone call to worry about. No hoping help shows up fast enough. It's right there on your person. You have the power to stop by force if necessary. You don't have to negotiate. You can damn well put a stop to it. I, for one, follow in Colonel Jeff Cooper's footsteps. Colonel Cooper believed that only a heavy-duty, single-action, automatic, major caliber handgun was up to the task. Preferably a Colt 1911, A1, or one of its clones, in .45 ACP, which is a major caliber. And it is the best choice for me. However, that is up to the individual's choice. Though I believe the single action trigger system of the 1911A1 is much easier to learn, therefore easier to manipulate in a confrontation, to each his own. That is a lesson I've learned from Dutton Fancy. You know, to each his own. Everybody has their own ways of thinking, their own desires, their own wants, and their own cool factor. Their own philosophy of use, basically how it boils down. Okay, onward and upward. I just finished watching the December 21st, 2012 NRA News Conference. Though I am biased, as I am a life member of the NRA, I believe that Executive Vice President of the NRA, Wayne LaPierre, said it best when he said, "The only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun." Of course, as anyone with a brain knows, that is true. Otherwise, why are the military or the police or the FBI or the Secret Service armed? Madmen cannot be reasoned with. Yet we all know that the pansies of the world will not see the light. Therefore, the battle continues. And you know, the more I think about it, I do not believe that it's the pansies. I'll get into that a little bit in my next video. As I have made perfectly clear, your personal safety and security are your responsibility. Or you can wait on help to arrive like those poor teachers had to in Connecticut. The NRA has offered a solution, the School Security Shield Program, where we, the NRA, will train free of charge school personnel for free to be armed guards for their own schools. Why? Why does the NRA once again have to drag this country out of the mess of idiots? After the Civil War, it was the founders of the NRA who, as former military officers, knew from watching the battles during the war that the U.S. Army couldn't shoot very well and something had to be done. Now let me stop right here and say this. Regardless of what you think about the Civil War, I myself would want to own another human being as a slave. I just think it's stupid. Just be honest with you. But I am a proud Southern white man. Okie dokie. I do not hate anyone for any reason. But I'll be goddamned if I'm going to sit around and let them stomp on me and call me a racist simply because of where I was born in the United States. Now here's a simple fact about the Civil War you may or may not know. The marksmanship of the Southern troops was a hell of a lot better than the Northern troops. That is a fact. Go back and read your history about why the NRA was founded, and you'll see what I'm talking about is true. Southerners love to hunt. All right, back in the day, it was absolutely necessary because they were a hell of a lot poorer. The normal, everyday man, not the rich plantation owners. We're just talking about just everyday men. They had to supplement their larder with food that they gathered, they grew themselves, or they found and they hunted. You know what I'm saying? So it is a fact that during the Civil War, the Southern units, by the majority, I've screwed this video up. You know that? Needless to say, the majority of Southern men could shoot a hell of a lot better than the majority of the Northern men. Not that the North did not have excellent riflemen in certain units. Generally, those units who were, from the sticks, like me, a hick, a redneck, a hillbilly. You know, all these derogatory terms that folks use toward them, country folk. Pole folks got pole ways. And we know how to drop the hammer on the deer in order to take him home to eat him. Tenfold Roger. All right, enough of that. To this day, the NRA's primary mission is to teach marksmanship skills. Okay? Marksmanship skills with the rifle and a handgun to our military and law enforcement, and of course, to our civilians. Then, hone those skills with competitions. Ever heard of the national matches at Camp Perry? If you have made the decision to get a firearm for personal defense, great. Now, get quality training, and if you cannot afford that, familiarize yourself with the rules of safe gun handling and get out to a range. Look for someone who handles their weapons, their guns, their firearms according to the safety rules. If they practice gun safety, they are more likely, or it is more likely they will know what they're doing. Okay? Now, ask that person all those questions rattling around in your head. You will be surprised how friendly and helpful they will be. I know I'm one of those people, and I have a little bit more experience than some folks, and I try to pass on the knowledge. Okay? Join the NRA. It is your Second Amendment right too. The battle to prevent the left from stripping you of it is underway. It may already be too late. Vote for your Second Amendment right, local, state, and federal, or do nothing, and eventually you will not have a choice in the matter. Okay, so I got off subject for a minute. Sorry. Practice, 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 practice. And don't believe the hype, whether it is deserved or not, that or about it is a blank Glock, 6 Hour, Smith & Wesson, Springfield Armory, Colt, whatever, and it never jams. Learn how to clear a jam and get it back into action. I have a few videos on that very subject, and there are many, many, many more out there that are a hell of a lot better. From schools such as Gun Sight, Front Sight, and Tactical Solutions, and on and on. There's tons of Thunder Ranch. All right, there are professionals out there who have professionally made awesome videos right here on YouTube that you can check into. Learn your system, whether it is a revolver or an automatic. Mostly I'm talking about automatic for the simple fact they're faster and easier to reload, and it, to me, easier to learn how to shoot. But that's just me. To each his own. Okay, as with man, everything weakens in old age. God knows. I'm 40 and I know. Springs in particular. Recoil springs, magazine springs, firing pin and striker springs. Those that are essential for the gun's operation will weaken, and that's when you get jams. Also, dirty and or rusty guns will also jam, so keep them clean and well lubricated. Yes, even the plastic guns. Read and follow the directions in your owner's manual. If you don't have one, they are free from the manufacturer by law. So, good luck. Be safe. This is Mac Daddy 1911A1, Shade Tree Survivalist, hoping that in some way, shape, or form, someone out there who has been thinking about this situation might have run across this and understand it is your responsibility. When the police, when the situation goes down, like the mall shooting, Columbine, the one out in Aurora, Colorado, or this latest one, well, I shouldn't even say latest one. There's been another shooting in Pennsylvania. There's been another shooting, I think, out in Nevada, I believe it was. There's been several shootings in Alabama. There's been a lot of people shot. People have gone freaking haywire. That's something I'm going to be dealing with in my next video. But you can be assured of this. The main enemy here is evil itself. Read your Bible. Gird yourself, because it is on its way. Mac Daddy 1911A1, Shade Tree Survivalist, signing off. Hope y'all have a great day. Thank you for watching.